So welcome back to Azure 305 course, Designing Microsoft Azure Infrastructure Solutions. And we are learning in 2024, right? So welcome back, guys, and we are going to discuss some new topics today on this Azure Architect course, right? So today we're going to discuss about Azure Compute and Networking Services. So we will a little bit talk about, compute, compare the compute types, including container instances, virtual machines, and what is the Azure functions. We will a little bit talk about, virtual machines options available in Azure and including VMs, virtual machine scale sets, availability sets, Azure Virtual Desktop. And also we describe, we also check the resource required for the virtual machines and application hosting options, including Azure Web Apps, containers, and virtual machines. And also we do a little bit, overview of the virtual networking, including the purpose of Azure Virtual Networks, Azure Virtual, so what is subnets, peering, DNS, VPN gateways, and express route to connect with your on-premises network to Azure Cloud. And we also discuss about, public and private endpoints, right? So till then, let's move ahead. So let me go to the portal and we start. This is my tenant ID. So I have not created any IAM accounts. I have not set up, I have not done any setup because it's my free account, right? So let's do a little bit tour of this portal, right? So in this portal, let's click next. And this is the home basically, right? So you can see your home page, you can see the left side of the pan where we can expand a lot of options comes on your Azure portal. And this is the dashboard, right? So dashboard, you can customize your resource alerts, anything. I mean, a lot of things you can put on the dashboard on your Azure portal website on as per your account requirement. And you can also browse the variety of Azure services, right? The all services comes in the picture. And favorites, so whatever, if you something you are keep monitoring and keep doing the deployment, or you want to see a daily basis, kind of, very frequently, I can say. So you can use other favorite kind of things, you can edit. And search options, this is the search option where you can directly search and whatever you want, you could just find it. And yeah, directory and subscription, you can just click here on this pane, so you will get the direction, the resource or the portals about it. Your pricing, notifications, your updates, and other information, you can get it from here as a notifications. Help and supports, if you want, if what kind of, SLA you have, that's what you can check it here. So I'm just a little bit explaining about this, the portal, where it is, what it has. And the last one is your account information. So you can switch many directories, you can change your password, permissions, submit an idea, or also you can view your bills. Okay, so this is one thing, okay, which I need to. So this is also showing here upgrade. So upgrade means if you click on the upgrade, it will show which subscription you are in right now and which subscription you want to use. So it's checking my subscription. Come on. Also, one more thing, guys. You get 12 months of popular services free plus more than 40 products that are always free beyond what's you free. So currently it's asking some detail. Move to a pay-as-you-go pricing for free services and uninterrupted access to Azure. Okay, so it's talking about if you want to upgrade, so you can do here your PAN ID, your GSTN ID number, if anything, your belongs to your company. Okay, otherwise this is fine. So do I have to pay after upgrade? What happens to the product? Okay, so this is what you need to check other options as well. Okay, so this is the short kind of thing. So right now, let's go to the home, and this is what we have right now. So let's talk about the next topic. Okay, as Azure virtual machines. So Azure virtual machines, you can create VMs in the cloud, and VMs provide infrastructure service. This is the part of the IaaS. So if you want to little bit know what is IaaS, what is PaaS and SaaS services, I would recommend you go and start learning AG 900 course first, or AG 104 course, then come to this course. All right. Right. So whatever your requirement, you can even customize your, the software running on your virtual machine. So you can say the golden images. Okay, this is what. So total control over the operating system you have. You can build your images and the same way you can deploy on the cloud. That is called custom softwares, right? So use the custom hosting configuration as well. So Azure Virtual Machine. So this tab, let me open this and go to virtual machines, or you can here directly click here, right? So click here. So it's saying no virtual machine to display here, right? Learn about more virtual machines on the Linux. Which one you want to deploy first? So this is what is all about. So let me try to launch a Linux virtual machine. You can say, or you can also deploy a Windows virtual machines. Right. So notification is coming here. So it's showing what is my current credit is pending. So that is fine. Right. So in the virtual machine tab, we can search it, right? So a little bit, let's talk about the virtual machines. Okay. So Azure VM gives you the flexibility of virtualization without having to buy and maintain the physical hardware that runs the VM. However, this is an IaaS offering, and but we still need to configure, update, and maintain the software that runs on the VM. Okay, so that is kind of the IaaS part, and we have to maintain those softwares, patching, and each and everything. So even you can create or use already created images to rapidly provisioning the images. You can create and provision a VM in minutes when you select a pre-configured VM images. So VM images have a something. So there is a template used to create a VM and may already include an OS and other software like development tools or your web hosting environment, your proxy setting, your software folders configuration setting, some particular software you want, the particular sim linking it. So these kind of things you can do it here. So, all right. So let's go to the slide and see scale VMs in Azure, virtual machine skill set, and there's two things, virtual machine skill set and virtual machine availability set. So what is that? Okay. That's what we have to talk about. So if I talk about this, scale in VMs. So you can run a single VM for the testing, development, and minor task. Your minor task. I mean, you're doing something. You just okay. I mean, I want to put this in on the scale. So, or you can also group the VMs together to provide high availability, scalability, and redundancy. So Azure have a capability can also manage the grouping of VMs for you with features such as scale sets and availability sets, right? So this is what is talk about. So virtual machine scale set. So what is virtual machine skill sets? Virtual machine skill sets let you create and manage a group of identical load balanced VM. If you simply created a multiple VMs with the same purpose, you would need to ensure they were all configured identically and then set up a network routing parameter to ensure the efficiency. Right. Same way you have to monitor the utilization to determine if you need to increase or decrease the number of VMs, right? So this is what is skill set. And same way, skill sets allow you to centrally manage, configure, and update a large number of VMs in minutes. Okay, so somewhere I was working for one of the Canadian clients, and they have to deploy, I think, 10,000 virtual machines. I don't know what they're going to do with that. So they have some, bot kind of development that there, and they are using Azure virtual machines to deploy those bots on their particular software, for the automation. So this is what when is required the skill set and everything. Okay. So virtual machine scale sets also automatically deploy a load balancer to make sure that your resources are being used efficiently. With virtual machine skill sets, you can build large scale service for areas such as compute, big data, and container workloads. Okay. Same way, we have a virtual machines availability set. So if you talk about virtual machines, availability set. So this is also kind of a tool. Okay, so virtual machine availability cells means you are kind of build a more resilience, highly available environment. And availability sets are designed to ensure that your VMs stagger updates and have varied power and network connectivity. Okay, preventing you from losing all your VMs with a single network or power failure. So it's kind of, you can say, your virtual machines is putting in the two rakes. The same copy is somewhere. Okay, so there is a availability set do this by grouping VMs in two ways. Remember this. The first one is update domain and fault domain. Okay, what is that all about? Uh, Fault domain and update domain. Right. So what is update domain? You understand from it. The update domain groups VMs that can be rebooted at the same time. This allows you us to apply, updates while knowing that only one update domain grouping will be offline at a time. So all of the machines in one update domain will be updated, right? An update going through the updates process is given a 30 minutes time to recover before maintenance on the next update domain starts. So this is how update domain works, right? And fault domain. The fault domain groups your VMs by common power source and network switch. By default, you can say an availability set will be split your VMs across up to three, fault domains. So this helps protect against a physical power or networking failure by having VMs in different fault domains, thus being connected to different powers and networking sources. All right. So I mean, this is also not the additionally no cost for configuring availability sets. You only pay for the VM instance you create. So availability sets, you don't need to pay anything. That's what you have to remember here, right? Okay, so here saying where you can use uh, examples of when to use VMs during your testing and development environment, when running application in the cloud, when extending your data center to the cloud, and during disaster recovery as well. Okay, so this is what where you could use. So I'm not going to talk about these points in details, okay, because we're going to do these things in the practical in our coming lectures, right? So next topic is, what is this? Move to the cloud. So VM resources, how are you going to decide what the size of as per your requirement, you have to decide the size, purpose, you have to find the purpose of particular VMs, the purpose of, the number of processor you're going to put over there, and then amount of RAM. If your application is going sufficient for 2 GB RAMs, 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAMs, or you need a more, okay? Same way for the hard disk, storage disk for the hard disk drive, solid state drive, which one you want to choose. Networking, you need a virtual network, a public IP address, and port configuration, right? So this is what we have to choose. All right, so uh, let's do one thing. Uh, let's create a virtual machine. Then we go with the next topic, right? So for the virtual machine requirement, I'm going to create a default virtual machine. Okay, so I just click on the virtual machine and I have to create a virtual machine. Just you see this? Create. Azure Virtual Machines, create a virtual machine hosted by Azure. Azure Virtual Machine with preset configuration, preset based on your workload. Azure Arc Virtual Machines, Azure VMware Solution Automation. This is what integration. So these are the development in 2024. Previously, if you go with the Azure, if you anybody working on the kind of 4 5 years back, you not seen these options earlier. So for the old guys who are working on the in the Azure cloud, I don't see these options. But now I can see more options here. So that's why Microsoft keep updating their updates, their innovations, time to time. So that's what we have to do. Okay, so the question is here, how are we going to create a virtual machine, right? So let's create a virtual machine here. Click on this and Azure Virtual Machines. I clicked here. So first it will ask what subscription you're going to choose. So I have a free trial. I'm using the same thing. You're saying you want to create a new user group. I said yes. Okay. So Azure Learning one I have, but I don't want to create it here. So I'm going to create a new uh, AG learning VM resource group. So I'll put all the virtual machine over here. All right. So go to the OK. So I've created this and virtual machine name. What do you put? One more thing, remember here, guys, in the Azure, you cannot change the name once it's deployed. So be sure you are following the proper naming convention whenever you're creating a virtual machine in your production environment, right? Or you working for some company, then you have to use a proper naming convention for these virtual machines, right? Then I have to put like Khan or K Cloud Academy VM1. Okay, so I'm just giving a, this is the name of this. Which region I want, or I'm just choosing a default availability options. If you want, you can put it here, right? So yeah, that's a good thing. Do you want to put on some virtual skill sets like the domain and chorus? So this is what is your requirement. So if it's something you're putting on your in the production side and you need a highly availability, so that you have to choose this option. Otherwise, availability zone is fine. Availability set is also for the same thing. Okay. So I'm talking about these options, these part. Okay. Okay. So availability set. So I'm not going to choose. I'll just put a one. I'm just selecting a one region and one availability zone, right? And this is saying availability zone. Which zone you want to set it? Zone one. So how many zones we have? First, you have to know. If you want to select more zones, multiple zones, selecting multiple zones will create one VM per zone. Remember this. This is what is clear here. And how you going to decide which zone you want to put? So you can click here, learn more options. It will give you the virtual machines in an availability zone using Azure portal. So this is what it is. The Microsoft documentation is very good, right? This is what is written, right? So I'm just clicking off and I'm going to select zone one, two, three. So I'm going to say zone one is fine for me, right? So you see availability zone having a three data centers. Okay, minimum three data centers or maximum, I think. So anywhere you can put, okay. Now, security type, trusted launch virtual machines, configure security feature if you want, you can configure it here. Otherwise, I'm going to choose standard, the basic level of security for the virtual machine. Okay. Trusted launch protest against persistence and advanced attack on Gen 2 virtual machines with configure feature like secure boot and trusted platform. So this is the TPM you want to enable, so you can use it here. So anybody who's worked on the SCCM and the TPM is basically for the securing your hard disk and your virtual machines at the operating system level. So it will lock your all the data and all. So I'm not going to choose this. I'm going to choose a standard. Okay. Image which one? I want to create a Ubuntu or something else. So you have to choose the options. You want Windows, Red Hat, Debian, Oracle, SUSE is also the enterprise. That's very good. Ubuntu. So I'm going to choose by default this because this is a free service eligible, right? And if I see SUSE Linux, free service eligible also. But this is an enterprise. Okay, so it's up to you guys which one you want. Your Red Hat, it's not free. Oracle is not free. Debian is free. Windows Server Data Center Edition Hotspot is free. So you want to test something, you can use this. Okay, free service eligible. So this is how you have to select your operating system. A bunch of see all images. Just click here, you can get it. So Microsoft earlier it was not giving the free operating system, but in I can see in 2024 and the recent years it started giving you the use for some times. All right, about for the 30 days, nothing else. All right, so I'm going to choose Ubuntu or SUSE, which one you want. So I'm going to choose Ubuntu only. Okay. Now, after choosing this image, we have to choose the generation you can choose. Okay. So VM architecture X ARM 64. I like 64, so architecture is fine, right? Run the your spot discount. Spot discount is what? A spot discount basically unused Azure capacity at a discounted rate versus pay as you go prices workload should be tolerant to infrastructure loss as Azure may recall capacity per for pay as you go workload. So it's depend. If you want to some fixed kind of things, then you are in the free trial. Cost associated with the VM can be covered by any remaining credit on your subscription, right? So this is what it's saying. What size I'm going to choose? So it's saying standard B1, one CPU, 1 gig memory, or simply refrigerable. It is free. So let me see what else is free. It's not free. It's not free per month. Per month. See all sizes. So free one is, I guess, only this one. So I'm selecting this one only. Okay. So choose a free one because sufficient for Linux machine. It will go. It's saying authentication type. I have to choose public key or I need a password. So I'm choosing a public key or PAM key, you can say. So that is fine. Username, Azure user, you can change by so Azure user, fine. Generate a new KRP, you can generate it. SSH public key, right? And key pair name, you have to give key cloud at the name of the VM, it's automatically taken. So that is fine. Generate a new key pair P, okay. Generate a new KRP, we are going to create, right? Allow selected port. SSH port is allowing to, if you want some more ports, you can give access, HTTP and port 80 also. So directly they may can. But port 80 I'm not going to allow because it's not secure, right? All right, so let's move to the next. We have to select the disk encryption. I don't want right now. Image by default 30 GB and 30 gig. And OS disk type is premium, must do locally redundant storage. So let's take it default, okay, and let's move ahead. LAN you can attach. If you want more attach disk, you can attach it with this. Okay. So go with the networking part. So networking, as per the VM, it's going to create a virtual network. So K-Cloud a VM, K-Cloud VNet is creating. So I'm going to take this VNet. Okay. I'm going to take the default subnet port 24, or you can increase it here as per the requirements. You can, so just choosing the default. But these things, when you're going to work for any organization, your organization will maintain or plan, your architect will going to plan these things, okay, which VNet, subnet for this particular deployment you're going to use, your subscription wise, everything will be divided, okay. So let's moving next, and I'm selected this part, rest is fine, the basic. Delete public IP and NIC when VM is deleted. Of course, yes, automatically will delete. Okay, enable accelerating networking, that is fine. So load balancing option, I don't need it. If you want, you are putting something port forwarding kind of thing, you can also add this rollers. The next part is the management. Microsoft Defender on the put, you want to enable basic plan for free. Okay. Identity assign means if you want to give any role-based kind of or you can say the orchestration mode to inform the basic tab. Azure ready if you want to sign in with the Azure AD. Basically, you can domain joining and kind of things. You can use it over here, but I'm not going to use it here because I don't have any backend infrastructure. All right, moving next, auto shutdown, backup, guest OS updates, image. Okay, that's fine. Go to the monitoring. Diagnostic, always I have to enable and use. Go to the advanced section. It's saying select an external extension to install, but I don't want to do custom data. So same way in AWS, you have a user data. If you want something, it's going to pre-install. So if I search some update uh, Ubuntu Ubuntu server, okay, Ubuntu server commands. So I'm just showing you guys how you're going to take this, okay? So it's saying sudo apt get update. So if I update this command C, and I'm going to put in user data, okay? And I want to install something. So sudo apt hyphen get what I need to install. Let's install zip, or you can say install unzip kind of. I need it. So this is what you can define here. Customer set image will be processed by the cloud end. You can define it here. Okay. So let's try this. If unzip will install, otherwise that is fine. Okay. Performance, that is fine. Host, Azure Cloud, dedicated host allows to provision and manage a physical server within our data centers that are dedicated to here. Okay. So as per a subscription, I'm using Super. So just create a virtual machine first, then we'll see how. I don't want any groups. Capacity reservation is fine for me. So moving to the next. So this is all the Which part we are in? That's what we have to check. Advanced like kind of things. Okay. Tagging. Next tab is the tag. Tag means where you want to put. So this is the for the IT department. Well, you have to put the same, and you can put even more tabs over here. Okay, department wise. So this is for the cost center. Earlier video also shows this. Okay. Tagging is provided by your finance team generally. So finance team in your company, they will provide you which one if I have to tag and the cost for the costing purpose. Because once you create any resources and your bill will come, then who have to charge or pay this? Or the company will going to be charge or assign this the budget, particular budget for this particular department, right? So move to the next, we have to review and create. So let's see what it's showing you. Right. So it's saying subscription period will apply 0.08836 INR per hour. Per hour is going to charge from us, right? Okay, so let's review we completed first. That's done. So it's showing, subscription free trial, Neo Azure Learning VM, Cloud, everything will give you. Something you're missing here, you just need to go back and just check it. Okay. Your disk size, your VNet, your basic tier is free. Right. So this is what we have to do. Tag, already tagged it, everything. Your everything is tagged with the IT department. This is what we created yesterday, right? So this is all about. Now we have to, validation is passed already. So we have to just press on create. Let's go into the deployment. Now it's saying download a private key and create resources. Yes, I have to download this. So you can see here, my PAM key has been downloaded automatically, right? So I'm not going to click here. So it's got created, right? So you see here in the right side, your notification will came here, okay? And what is the progress of this particular things? It will show you. So either click here, click here on the virtual machines. So it's getting deployed in a few minutes. Or you can see the progress of this particular deployment. Create VM canonical.vm got Ubuntu server available. So you see here, uh, on the free trial, the deployment is completed. Wow. So it's quite fast. Why? Because we deployed a Linux. If you try to deploy any Windows images, it will took, I think, 4 to 5 minutes to deploy this. But it's a little bit fast because Linux will process very fast, right? So we have to go to the resource over here and we have to see what we have created. Okay, so you see here, Azure Learning VM, we have the VM name and, you have to connect here from this. So let me try to connect. It's my public IP. So it's saying you want to connect with the Azure CLI. Select. All right, I've selected this. So this is the Azure CLI basically. Provision prerequisites could not be configured. So we have to first configure this, right? So I'm not going to use this. Let's connect this VM from the terminal, right? Yeah, so earlier we had downloaded this PAM key, right? And now we have to either you can connect with your Azure CLI portal directly from here, or you can native SSH from the local machine. So I'm going to select this, right? So it's saying prerequisite is not be configured, port 22 is not accessible, standard zip policy not configured. Public IP is this, right? So copy and paste, execute SSH command. Any private key, SSH -RD or SFPAM here. reset your private key here. All right. So go to this and you can use this command. You have to change the permission. So it's saying using a Linux, WSL or Ubuntu or on terminal, you have to use this command, these commands. Okay. SSH hyphen your private key and Azure user, and this is what we have to use. So I'm going to follow the same things. Okay. So what you have to do, this is my terminal. Okay. You see here. And first I will locate my, where I downloaded my virtual machine. Sorry, the PAM key, right? So right now I'm in my, the machine and in my local machine, and I have to find the my PAM key. So I have downloaded this, and it goes to my download folder, right? So this is my terminal, and I have to check this. Okay. So first we try, if you are familiar with Linux, that is fine. Otherwise, also fine. So first we have to check how to find. So I'm going to use sudo find space slash hyphen type, and what I have to search, file f, and give the name hyphen name, uh any file name with dot pam. So asking my laptop password, operation not permitted. Okay, not an issue. So maybe I have to go to the root, then I have to check this. Just keep trying or keep searching inside the library portals. So I don't think it's good because it's a don't allow. Okay, so it's not fine. So I'm going to clear the pages and I have to go with sudo su, and I'm the root file now. So where I am, pwd command, and I'm in the downloads. Now I have to run the same command find, or I can run the same command which I run. Sorry. I'm just trying. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but still, you will learn new things as well. So what I have to find, name space star dot pam file. Operation is not permitted. So maybe my machine is not allowing. That's what I'm guessing. Okay. So guys, let's try some another way, right? So you see here, we downloaded this, the name of the KC cloud for this particular PAM file. All right. So this is what we have to think. It's good here. So I'm opening my terminal and go to the root, and what I have to do, let me directly try this command. This command you have to type. Simple. So SSH hyphen I, let's try this. And what is the name of your file? You must have the same folder, right? KC cloud acm.pam. So if I press KC and press tab, it will take automatically. Then you have to type your username at your and your public IP. So my username is Azure user at 20 dot 55 dot 66 dot 203. Let me see if connecting or not. It's saying yes. I said yes. So now you see here, we are connected as a Azure user kccloud.vm. Which VM we are created here, right? This one. So nothing is a rocket science here. You just keep and go to the virtual machine, and this is your virtual machine name. Cloud KCM 01, right? So on how I'm accessing from my local machine or local here. So right now I'm in ls-al, and you see the bash profile and everything. So and I have if config. Let's check the if config. So it's if config is not found because you need to install. So let me go sudo apt install net tools. That's what it's saying. Net hyphen tools. So right now I'm working on Azure virtual machine which we created, right? So to install now I have to run this if config command. If config to check the sorry. Yeah. Now you see here, this is your local Ethernet and it's giving all the details over here. 10.0.0.255. So same kind of network is fine. And this is what of the 255 pre-election kind of things. So this is how we're going to connect it. So it is showing also Azure user at the KC Cloud VM hyphen connected with SSH. Now you can play with your whatever you want to install, you can install it. Now we have to check zip package install or not. All right. So how are you going to check this? What is the package install? So what I have to go to run? I will run one command that is named, or you can say apt. What I have to check list and hyphen installed. So whatever installed here, it will show me. It will show us. Okay. So this saying invalid operations. All right. Oh my God. So it's showing me a bunch of software. Let me make it big, little big. So you see here all the packages has been installed. Ubuntu, Pro Max, TDZ data. Okay. Python is already there. Let's move up and see what kind of software is installed over there. OpenSS is there, Python is there, Mount, LVM, lot of things is there. Okay. So if you're familiar with Ubuntu Linux, just try these commands. That's it. Okay. And check status. So let's install. Uh, I mean, now you can use as per your requirement. So this is how the virtual machine is going to be work here, right? So this is all about for the virtual machines. Now, next topic is Azure, Virtual Desktop. Another type of virtual machine, the Azure Virtual Desktop. So what is Azure Desktop? I mean, you working on Windows 10, 11, for particular concept, or have you heard about the VDI, Virtual Desktop environment? is generally run on the virtualization kind of things. So suppose you are working for some company or client, okay, and they have some hardware. Suppose you have a machine, so they're not going to install your other softwares and data privacy. So that's why Azure Virtual Desktop is comes in the picture. So you with your machine, you're going to log in on particular kind of Citrix or using Citrix or Virtual Desktop, and inside that, your all the client work going to be work. So that's why it's used majorly. That's what I'm telling you. It can be a server, it can be a your Windows 10 or Windows 11 desktop, or maybe it can be any Linux machine as well. But it's not in your local machine. You always have to connect through the internet using some secure way, right? And everything you're going to work over there. So this is called the Azure Virtual Desktop, right? So I explain it very simple way, how you're going to work. This is always for the security purpose. So Azure Virtual Desktop provides centralized security management for users desktop with Microsoft, Intra ID. You can enable multi-factor authentication to secure your sign-ins. You can also secure access to data by assigning granular role-based access control, or back control, which is called. So with the Azure Virtual Desktop, the data and applications are separated from the local hardware. That's the main point. The actual desktop and applications are running in the cloud, meaning the risk of confidential data being left on a personal device is reduced. Additionally, user sessions are isolated in both single and multi-session environment. So this is one task. And multi-session Windows 10 and 11 can be deployment. Virtual desktop lets you use Windows 10 or Windows 11 enterprise multi-sessions. The only Windows client-based operating system that enables multiple concurrent user on a single VM. Azure Virtual Desktop also provide a more consistent experience and broader application support compared to the Windows server-based operating system. So this is what you have to think about it. Okay. And this is all about. So I'm not going to do anything. Just I'm putting, just making these machines somewhere else. I'm live. And all right, so let's go to search Azure Virtual. I'm just typing Azure Virtual. Let's see what's showing me. Virtual Desktop. Yeah. So this is how it looks like. Product documentation, create your own image, profile container, cost calculator. Everything you can do it from here. Okay. So you can create a host pool. That's what it's saying. Create a host pool. Okay. So I'm not going to create virtual machines. Okay. Thank you. All right. So let's move to the next topic is Azure containers. That is very important topic. What are the containers you understand? Comparison virtual machines to the container. So what is the difference between it? So let's discuss about it. So I'm going to open Azure containers. Did you see here? No. So I'm not able to find it, but let me try one more time. Containers, app services, this manager function, container apps. Azure Kubernetes services there, container instances is there, container application is there, web app for the containers. So this is what we're going to discuss about it. Okay, marketplace. So let's so basically when you use virtual machines are an excellent way to reduce the cost. Okay, I mean, if you're using virtual machines, it's also cost you, right? Or cost the company. What's the investment? So, what is the investment if you put some investment on the your physical hardware? That is physical hardware, right? Then you whenever you want to destroy, you can destroy it. When you don't want to use it, you don't want to use it. So they are still limited to a single operating system or per virtual machine. So your hardware going to be fixed with one particular operating system and one hard. It's required one hardware, right? For the virtual machines as well. If you want to run multiple instances of an application on a single host machines, where the containers comes in the picture, right? So let's little bit talk about containers. Containers are a virtualization environment, much like running multiple virtual machines on a single physical host. You can run multiple or containers on a single physical or virtual host. Unlike virtual machine, you don't manage the operating system for a container. Virtual machines appears to be an instance of an operating system that you can connect to and manage. Okay, so containers are basically lightweight and designed to be created, scaled out, and stopped dynamically. It's so possible to create and deploy virtual machines as application demand increase, but containers are a lighter weight, more agile method. Containers are designed to allow you to respond or to change on demand. With containers, you can quickly restart if something is got crashed or hardware interruption. One of the most, if you talk about the most, container engine is Docker, and Azure also supports Docker. Okay, so Azure Containers instance offer the fastest and simplest way to run a container in Azure without having to manage any virtual machine or adopt any additional services. So your container will work automatically. So this is the containers I just make as a Docker I'm talking about. This is the virtual machine. This whole be hosted. Azure function kind of things in Azure, right? So Azure container instances like Azure Container Applications, Azure Kubernetes services use container in your solution. So let's a little bit talk about it. Okay. So here you can see container applications, app services, app service plan, function app, storage account, container app. So that is fine. So so basically, Azure containers instances comes in a PaaS offering. Okay, it's a platform as a service. It's not a IS part. And Azure container applications apps are similar in many ways to container instances. Same way Azure Kubernetes services comes in the picture. That is called AKS. Use continuous solutions, right? So this kind of things we're going to be cover in our coming lecture. Okay, so go to the next topic. What is the Azure function, right? So Azure function runs your code when it's triggered and automatically reallocated resources when the function is finished. In this model, you are only charged for the CPU time used while your function runs. That is very good. And at AWS, this comparatively, it is Lambda function, right? So if I talk about Azure, what is that? Function. This is the function. Or if I type Azure function directly, not coming. Function. Function app. So this is how you can create an here, right? The function app. Create a function app here. Same way. You have to put name, multi-masking. Here you can choose Linux and Windows consumption. These are the serverless. You don't need to worry about the IaaS part if you right. So be sure you are not going to use. And it's deployed in one single click. Even you use automation, you use some templates. You can use it very very efficient way. So creating a function app which lets you group function as local unit for easier management. So this is what it is all about, right? So let me talk about. So Azure Function is an event-driven serverless computing option that does not require maintaining virtual kind of virtual machine like operating system, patching and all. You don't need to worry about it. Or container, even containers. Okay. If you build an application using VMs or containers, those resources have to be running in order of for your app to function. With Azure Function, an event wakes up the function, elevating the need to keep resources provisioned when there are no events. Right. So you have benefits, a lot of benefits of it. Using Azure function where you can need to use. Functions are commonly used when you need to perform work in response to an event often, like REST request. APIs, you know about the REST APIs, timer or messages from the another services. Kind of, you can say you're using some Kafka kind of things, software on your messaging services, bus service bus. And when that work can be completed quickly within seconds or less, right? Functional function scale automatically based on demand. So they may be good choice when demand is variable. You have a website, you have some application site, the shopping site kind of things. So where Azure function is very important. Whenever it's needed, it will create infrastructure and it will charge only the CPU time. Remember this. Okay. And function can be either stateless or stateful. When they are stateless, by default they are stateless, right? They behave as if they are started every time they respond to an event. When the stateful called durable function on context is passed through the function to track prior activity. So functions are a key component of serverless computing. They are also a general compute platform for running any type of code. If the need for the developer app changes, you can deploy the project in an environment that is not serverless. So this flexibility allows you to manage scaling, run on a virtual network, and even completely isolate the functions, right? So let's little bit talk about the next topic. What is that? Application hosting. Hosting based on Azure, we might initially turn to a virtual machines or a container where Azure Apps comes in the picture. Okay. So Azure Apps, this service system talking about. No, I have not deployed anything, but it's a badness which language you want, you can deploy in the base of the your applications, right? So app services enables you to build and host web app, background jobs, mobile backend, RESTful APIs in the programming languages. Any, I mean, even you can using deploy automated one from GitHub, GitLab, Azure DevOps, or any Git repository to support continuous deployment model. Azure App Service is a robust hosting option that you can use to host your apps in your Azure. Azure App Service lets you focus on building and maintaining your applications, right? And make a language consistent. So including your most of the languages cover, I think, Windows and Linux environment, right? So little bit, let's talk about app services, types of app services, web app, API, API apps and web jobs and mobile apps. So app service handles most of the infrastructure decision. You deal with the hosting web apps, accessible apps of deployment and management are integrated into the platform. Endpoints can be secured, site can be secure, scaled quickly to handle high traffic loads. So this is the basic kind of features of the app services. So what is web app? Okay, so web app service includes full support for the hosting web apps. You can APIs and web jobs. Okay, they can be schedule or run triggers and mobile application also. Store mobile applications on the cloud-based SQL databases. So this is what about, right? And so next part is networking. We are going on our upcoming video, right? So I'm going to stop this here and we will see these topics in our next upcoming video. Thanks for your time, guys, and we will see you. Please like and subscribe our channel so we can keep motivating you guys and learn with me. All right. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.